कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकि कोकिलम्। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताया पतये नमः। जयत्याश्रितसन्त्रास ध्वान्तविध्वंसनोदयः प्रभावान् सीतया देव्या परमव्योमभास्करः परमव्योमभास्करः।
श्रीमते निगमान्त महादेशिकाय नमः। Tara, after praising Rama for his Paramatma qualities, she in fact does a Paratattva Nirnayam through her stuti. Months of monsoon, Chaturmasyam, my Vanaras cannot search for Sita Rama. After the Chaturmasyam, after the monsoon season is over, I shall fulfill my promise of dispatching my army in search of Sita, said the so-called Kritagnya, grateful Sugriva. Rama, like any Nayaka who searches in despair for his lost Nayika, who is his beloved, was waiting in the monsoon season like how any beloved would wait. While he heard the thunder, he saw the lightning, he was just reminded of Sita. As this happened on one side, here we have Sugriva, who was lost in his own senses because of consumption of liquor. Excess drinking made him lose all the promises that he had made. Here, the state of Sugriva is described. Sanidra-klanta samvito vanaro na vibuddhavan babhuva madamattascha madanena cha mohitaha. Then Lakshmana looked like a furious snake. Months have passed by. This man does not have the sincerity to get back to my Swami Sri Rama, so he went like a furious snake. He conveyed Rama's message. Nasa sankuchita pantha yena vali hato gadaha samaye tishta sugriva mavari pathamanvadaha. The door that was opened for your brother Vali is still not closed, Sugriva. But he is in a state completely like a drunkard. You may ask, sir, was liquor available in those days in India? What brand, what type? I don't know the brand, I don't know the type, but liquor was available. How do we know that? Because grapes were used, molasses were used, fermented, and then juices were made. In fact, in Kalidasa's Abhignana Shakuntalam, when Shakuntala is lost in her thoughts, in her love for Dushyanta Maharaja, Durvasa Maharshi comes to Kanvashramam. He says, Shakuntale, I have come here. I have come to your ashramam. But she doesn't reply. The moment she doesn't reply after many reminders by Durvasa, Durvasa, known for his anger and for uttering curses, pronounces a curse on Shakuntala. He tells that you have been lost in your thoughts on a certain man whom you are in love with. I curse that he shall lose memory of you. He shall completely forget you. Like how Katham Pramattaha Prathamam Kritam Iva. This is the comparison made by Kalidasa. Like how he will forget, like a person who is a habitual drunkard, who promises something while he is drinking and the next morning he will forget that. Katham pramattaha prathamam kritamiva. So even comparisons were made to these scenes of drinking. That said, Hanuman goes outside the room, private room of Sugriva and Tara. You remember Vyasavakyam, I denoted this line, Shruyate Vyasavakyam. Vyasa says in Ramopakhyanam of Vanaparva of Sri Mahabharatam, when Tara stops Vali from going to a fight or duel with Sugriva, he has a doubt. All these years I was having a doubt. He says to himself that this lady has a special corner for my brother. So there was a doubt. And true to that doubt, Tara also ends up marrying Sugriva. Whether the word marriage is mentioned or not, you may ask. That marriage event is not mentioned. But here there is one shloka where Hanuman tells, through lust and riches, your husband has lost the aptitude of gratitude. Kimayam kama vrittaste luktamarthaya sangraha bharta bhartrihite yukte na chainamava buddhyase. So he mentions to Tara that your husband is lost. Your husband there denotes only Sugriva because Vali was dead long back. One. Second, Tara's father is Sushena. While Sushena is introduced in Sundara Kandam and later Yuddha Kandam, he is introduced as Sugriva's father-in-law. If he is Tara's father, how did he become Sugriva's father-in-law without Sugriva remarrying Tara? So that is another instance. Now, Tara wakes up from the room because Hanuman says, there is a furious Lakshmana. Tara, you come first and you pacify him. As she walks, there is a shlokam by Valmiki. Sa praskhalanti madavihvalakshim pralamba kanchi gunahema sutram salakshana lakshmana sannidhanam jagamatara nanitangayashtihi. Sa praskhalanti. As Tara walked, she couldn't because of the sambhogam, the union that she had had with Sugriva the previous night. She was weak, so she walked with a dragging foot. Praskhalanti. She had drunk so much liquor with him that her eyes were swollen and reddened. Madavihvalakshim pralamba kanchi guna. The girdle, the robe that she was trying to herself was loose because of the union that she had had. Pralamba kanchi guna. She had applied many tattoos of golden dust because Sugriva had rubbed them away. They were gone. Pralamba kanchi guna. Hema sutram salakshana. With this state, dress is loose, tattoo is rubbed, her eyes are reddened, she couldn't walk. With this state, she is coming to Lakshmana. Salakshana Lakshmana sannidhanam. She comes to the sannidhi of Lakshmana. On one hand, not even a few months had passed, she had remarried Sugriva. When Lakshmana was asked by Sugriva if these are the ornaments of your sister-in-law, he says, I have never seen my sister-in-law above her feet. So here is one brother-in-law who treats his sister-in-law like a mother. And on the other side, we have Sugriva who is marrying his sister-in-law in a few months after the death of his brother. Salakshana, with this Lakshanam, Lakshmana sannidhanam. She comes to the sanctum sanctorum of Lakshmana. Jagamatara namitangayashtihi. She comes. Then, looking at her state, Lakshmana couldn't see her. He put his head down, it seems. He was so furious, but looking at Tara's state, he couldn't see her. He put his head down. And then he started conversing. That is when Tara says, is it good for a great Kshatriya like you to get angry? Kim kopamulam manujendra putra. That is when Lakshmana says, don't ask me such questions. Go ask your husband whether he has been grateful to Rama. Bharta bhartrihite yukte na chainamava buddhyase. First, Tara is a very, very adept speaker. We have seen Vedanta Vakyam coming from her. The irony is, few episodes before she spoke Vedanta Vakyam, now liquor has gone into her. This is the effect of Sattva, Rajo, Tamo gunas in we, the human and the animal creation. That's it. She initially agrees. Yes, what Sugriva has done is wrong. He should have answered. But I still feel why you should get angry like this. We are all friends, right? So, Right Honorable V.S. Srinivasa Shastri puts it very beautifully. He says, I quote, she began by admitting Sugriva's fault and having tried to make a plea on that footing, subsequently showed that he was not at fault at all, and that therefore the whole case against him fell to that ground. The commentator concurs, Aparadham angikritya santvayitva idanin vicharyamane aparadha eva nasti ityaha. That is how she says. Then slowly Hanuman arranges to wash the face of Sugriva and come in a decent state before Lakshmana. Then Sugriva, the Maharaja, says, Yadi kinchidadikrantam vishvasat pranayenava preshyasya kshamitavyam me na kaschid na paradhyati. I have committed a mistake. But one thing, Lakshmana, who in this world doesn't commit a mistake? See how he projects his case forward. The moment Hanuman indicates to Sugriva, put your palms together. Pranjalim, put your palms together. Lakshmana accepts this Anjali Mudra as Sharanagati and immediately cools down. Heights of fury. Now, heights of pity, he says, Yaccha shokavabhibhutasya shrutva ramasya bhashitam mayatvam parushan yuktaha tachatvam kshantumarhasi. See, I just came to remind you of your mistake, but in that course, I may have uttered a few words which would have been hurtful to you. Please forgive me, Sugriva. See, above all of this, we should see how two great people forgive each other. This should be the mentality in family members, in the society. I would say even in politics and largely in the country and in the world. We can avoid so many wars. We can avoid inflation with all of this. Look at the dialogue, the conversation what Lakshmana and Sugriva have. Now Sugriva says, I have committed a mistake. Now I'll come to Rama. He takes all his monkeys to Rama and now plans very well how to send those monkeys in different directions. To the north, he says, I will make Shatabala the leader and they will be searching in the locations of the Himalayas, Kambhojam, Kailasham, Krauncham, Mainakam, Somam. To the east, he says, I will make Vinata the leader and they will go in search of Sita to places like Sumatra, Simhapuri, Plaksha, Ikshu, Lohita, Shalmala, Udayagiri and other places. To the west, he says, I will make Sushena the leader. They will go in search of Sita to Saurashtram, Avanti, Sindhu, Hevagiri, Pariyatra, Vajra, Chakravan, Prajyotisha, Astigiri, Meru. I will make 4 people go in the southern direction as leaders. Hanuman, Jambavanta, Neela and Angada. They will go in search of Sita in the places such as Vindhya, Narmada, Godavari, Krishnaveni, Mahanadi, Varada, Andhra, Pundra, Chola, Pandya, Kerala, Kalinga, Anga, Kaveri, Tamraparani, Mahendragiri, Angaraka, Pushpatika, Bhogavati. These are the places where they will go in search of Sita. And then while describing each of the places, he sings praise of Kaveri. See, Valmiki is somewhere in the north. He beautifully describes Kaveri river. He says, Tatastam apagam divyam prasanna salilashayam tatra drakshyata kaverim vihrutam apsaro ganaihi. That is when Rama, while dispatching all these monkeys under the instructions of Sugriva, as they are leaving, he says, Hanuman, Anjaneya, Anjanaputra, Hanuman, Sundara, come here, come here. All the monkeys now were viewing why Rama is calling only Hanuman. Why should he call Hanuman? What is he going to give to Hanuman? Next episode. Dear Astika reader, I am happy to be authoring a 2-part book on the Ramayana in English. The first part is slated for release in the year 2024. The book aims to recreate and retell the Ramayana of Valmiki, conforming to the ancient commentaries and other allied literature. To receive notifications of the book release, kindly register with www.deshikadaya.org/books. Namaskaram.